let's dive in. My name is Sarah. Michael has asked me to join him again this week for his deep dive. This week, we are all about Sarasota and Manatee Counties. And we're looking specifically at the week of April 13th to the 19th. And basically, we're trying to give you the rundown of everything you need to know, all the essential information, without you having to spend, hours going through local newsletters and different websites.
Yeah, we've done the work for you, so you don't have to. My name is Michael Rennick. I'm your Florida West Coast real estate specialist. Once again, we're focusing on what we think is most relevant and most interesting, right? Particularly for folks who either live in these counties or are planning to visit or just, are generally interested in what's happening in this, beautiful part of Florida.
Yeah, so let's kick things off with the events calendar because it looks like it's going to be a busy week. There's a lot going on. And one that really caught my eye is the World Golf Croquet Championship taking place in Venice.
It's an exciting one.
The opening ceremony is Sunday, April 13th at Wellfield Park. That's from 4 to 5 p.m. A world championship for croquet. That's not something you hear every day.
No, it's not something you hear every day.
I mean, what makes this particular championship stand out?
Well, the interesting thing about this one is that it's focused on the under 21 players.
Oh, wow.
So these are, some of the best young croquet players in the world.
So we're seeing the future of the sport.
Exactly. You're getting a glimpse into the future of the sport.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And the actual competitions run daily from Monday the 14th through Thursday the 17th.
That's right.
So plenty of opportunity to catch some of those matches.
Yeah.
Now, if croquet is not your thing and you're looking for something a little bit more, nature-focused,
break.
There's a guided walk at Old Musica Preserve scheduled for Tuesday, April 5th.
Well, that sounds nice.
And that kind of ties into a really interesting fact that we came across, which is that the Musica Canopy Walkway in Sarasota County was actually the first public treetop trail in all of North America. I know,
Pretty
it's
cool.
Pretty cool, right? It's suspended about 25 feet up. Wow.
And stretches for 100 feet.
That's quite a walkway.
Yeah, so you get this really unique perspective of the forest.
Oh, I bet.
And, the guided walk at Old Musica Preserve offers kind of another way to experience that diverse environment. Musica River State Park, where both of these are located.
Yeah.
That's one of Florida's largest and most biodiverse parks, right?
It is, and it's, a haven for nature lovers, for photographers, if you're into adventure at all.
Absolutely.
It's a great place to check out.
All right, so moving back to more kind of structured events for music lovers out there, the Musica Chamber Music Festival is wrapping up its 39th season.
Wow.
With a finale performance on Thursday, April 17th at the Sarasota Opera House.
That's fantastic.
That's quite a milestone for a festival.
It really is. Yeah, 39 years suggests a pretty long-standing tradition of bringing high-quality chamber music to the community, so it's likely to be a really special event. And on that same Thursday, April 17th, if you're over in Bradenton, you can check out the Manatee Music Series at the G.T. Bray Amphitheater. This one sounds a little bit more laid back, kind of showcasing local performers, which is always nice.
And what's neat about the Manatee Music Series is it's on like a set
schedule.
Really? It's always on the third Thursday of the month.
Oh, okay.
And it happens in March, April, and May.
So if you miss this one, you've got another chance in May.
Exactly, but a great way to kind of enjoy local musical talent. Yeah.
Yeah.
In a relaxed outdoor setting.
Awesome. Now for sports fans, Nathan Benderson Park is getting ready to host the Big Ten Women's Rowing Invitational Regatta. Oh, wow. And that's Friday and Saturday, April 18th and 19th.
Wow, that's going to be big.
For those who aren't familiar with the Big Ten, that's like a major college athletic conference. Right. And some of the teams that will be competing here are like Ohio State, Michigan, Wisconsin.
Wow, those are powerhouses. Right? Yeah.
So it really speaks to the caliber of this event.
It does. And the quality of that venue
as
well.
Nathan Benderson Park is really a premier facility for rowing.
It is, yeah.
Okay. So if you've got kids or you're just a kid at heart, there's an Easter egg extravaganza happening on Friday, April 18th at the University Town Center Mall.
Okay.
Sounds like a fun one. They've got egg hunts, craft stations, giveaways, free food for families. I know, right? Plus, it's free to enter.
Can't beat that.
Plus, and speaking of family-friendly events and activities, the Sailor Circus Spring Show is running from Thursday, April 17th through Saturday the 19th.
Nice.
They call themselves the greatest little show on earth.
Oh, wow.
Which is a pretty big claim.
It is a big claim.
But the Sailor Circus is a Sarasota institution, It's a youth circus program, yeah. That trains young people in all sorts of circus arts And this spring show has over 100 young artists performing. So it's
Wow.
always a really impressive display of skill and dedication.
Yeah, it's really unique. It is a very unique
Okay,
cultural
so let's say
experience.
you're looking for a way to, give back to the community. Keep Manatee Beautiful has a volunteer event scheduled for Saturday, April 19th at the 13th AV Dream Center in Bradenton.
Okay.
And they're looking for people to help with a variety of different things like peace garden planters, indoor painting. They need help with a tree giveaway.
Oh, wow.
And they even need help with an Easter egg hunt.
That's great.
Yeah, so there's definitely something for everyone if you want to volunteer.
Yeah. And it's so nice, they've got so many different options, right?
Right.
It's a way for anyone to contribute.
And speaking of Easter egg hunts, there's another one on Saturday, April 19th at the Siesta Key Chapel.
Oh, fun.
And they've got different hunt times throughout the morning, so you can choose the one that works best for you and your family.
Perfect.
And what better place for an Easter egg hunt than Siesta Key?
Yeah, one of the most beautiful beaches in the world.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay, and last but not least, we have the Mini Ridge at Bee Ridge Park on Saturday, April 19th.
Okay.
This year, it's taking place at the State College of Florida's Bradenton campus. And it's just like a day of outdoor activities and community fun. So there you have it, a whole bunch of events to choose from.
It's a packed week.
In Sarasota and Manatee counties.
A lot going on.
Something for everyone.
Exactly.
But there's more to this week than just events.
Right? We've also got some interesting developments and news stories that have come out of the area.
Yeah, so let's get into that.
Okay.
First up, a big piece of real estate news. A Sarasota property just sold for $14.8 million,
I know.
which is a new record for 2025.
That is huge. It is huge. And that really gives you a sense of the high value market that
For sure.
exists in this
Shifting
area.
gears a bit to infrastructure. Manatee County is in the process of replacing all of its water meters. They're upgrading to new models that can be read remotely. So this should make data collection more efficient. And it could also help residents track their water usage better. Over in Sarasota, the Sarasota Orchestra just unveiled the conceptual designs for their new facility, which is going to be on Fruitville Road. And they've selected William Rahn Associates as the architect.
Interesting.
And this is a firm that's known for their innovative designs, especially when it comes to cultural spaces.
Oh, wow. So this is a big deal for the orchestra.
It is. It's a huge step forward for the arts community in Sarasota.
Absolutely.
Okay, so an important announcement for Sarasota County. There is a burn ban in effect because of the dry conditions and the increased risk of fire.
Yeah, that's important.
So if you're planning any outdoor activities that might involve, open flames or anything like that, yeah, please be aware of this burn ban and follow it carefully.
Be careful out there.
Yeah, safety first. And lastly, over in Manatee County, the county commissioners recently approved plans for some new housing developments, including 180 multifamily workforce housing units, and also the Innovation Business Park at Seaport Manatee.
Oh, wow. That sounds like a really significant development.
Yeah, and workforce housing is something that a lot of communities are struggling with.
Yeah, it's a big issue.
So this is a positive step, I think, for Manatee County and the business park. That could bring new jobs and economic opportunities to the area.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so as you can see, there's a lot happening.
A lot going on.
Both in terms of events and just general, community news and developments.
Yeah.
But no deep dive would be complete without the weather.
Of course not. It's Florida.
Exactly. We need to know what to expect, especially if we're planning to be out and about. So let's take a look at what's in store for Sarasota and Manatee counties for the week of April 13th to the 19th. Sunday, April 13th, looks like a perfect beach day. Sunny skies, temperatures between 78 and 84 degrees, and only a 10% chance of rain. Yeah. Monday, April 14th should be pretty nice too. Partly cloudy skies, similar temperatures, 77 to 85 degrees, and a slightly higher chance of rain, but still pretty low, 20%. Tuesday, April 15th, we're looking at mostly sunny skies, a little bit cooler, 76 to 83 degrees, and a 15% chance of rain. Wednesday, April 16th, things are warming up a bit. Sunny skies, high of 86 degrees, and a very low 5% chance of rain. Thursday, April 17th, that's when we might see a bit of a change. There's a chance of scattered showers. Temperatures will be in the mid-70s to low 80s, and the chance of rain jumps up to 40%. Yeah, maybe Friday, April 18th, we're back to partly cloudy skies, temperatures between 77 and 84 degrees, and a 25% chance of rain. And finally, Saturday, April 19th looks like another beautiful day. Sunny skies, temperatures between 79 and 87 degrees, and only a 10% chance of rain. So, overall, it looks like a pretty typical Florida spring week. Mostly sunny, warm, with just that little chance of rain midweek. So there you have it. You are now fully up to speed on everything you need to know for the week of April 13th to the 19th, 2025, in Sarasota and Manatee Counties. We covered a lot of ground from real estate, to rowing, to croquet, to, whether or not you need an umbrella on Thursday. Our goal with these deep dives is always to provide you with the most important information in a way that's, both concise and engaging.
Yeah, we want you to be informed and entertained.
Right, because, being informed about what's happening in your community, it allows you to connect with your surroundings on a deeper level.
Yeah, makes you feel more a part of things.
Exactly. You can participate more fully in the life of the community.
Right.
Appreciate its vibrancy and all that it has to offer.
And I think this week's deep dive really showcases just how dynamic this area is. From the natural wonders to the cultural events and the constant growth and change, it's really an exciting place to be.
It is. I would like to thank our listeners for joining us for this deep dive. We hope you found it informative and maybe even inspiring, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive into all things Sarasota and Manatee.
Until then, stay curious. Sarah, thank you again for another great week. These updates just wouldn't be the same without you. For our listeners, again, thank you for being here with us. My name is Michael Rennick. I am your Florida West Coast real estate specialist. If I can be of any help, please reach out on my personal cell. That number is 941-400-8735. Everyone, have a great and safe week.